Okay, so just a really quick breakdown on IGC. It was very nice. I'm auto liquidated if I go red 950 on the day. So far between IGC and Wiser, clearing $1,000. So having a good day that's better than a worst possible day. Like the worst possible case for me now is 950. I'm out. I'm auto liquidated. So to have a green day that's better than the worst possible red day I can have is super sweet. But we'll break down IGC. It's a former runner. It has these bullet green days, huge gap. It's got range from the 1s to the 450s. Trading huge volume pre-market today. On the pretense, we've got some news on stocks to trade here. Issuance of a patent. We had an insane pre-market run. And I've got it live traded. Long and short, made money both ways. But I give back some money on the long side, sadly. But I mean, look, this is what these quick recaps are about. It's for you to learn, but also certainly for me to... Because when you look on a daily chart, you don't really see the exact errors you're making. But when you see yourself make the errors in real time, you fucking realize the holes in your game quite quickly. Sorry, let's just jump back. Okay, so 9:20, we've got a little bit of time here. Skip to the open, 9:25. Any second we should be hitting the open. And this isn't a day two, but I'm still looking for a weak open. As the stock goes red-green, I'm thinking this is a long. It's traded 63 million pre-market. 63 million pre-market volume. I'm expecting it's going to open up with something stupid in the opening 15 minutes. So this is definitely a long candidate in terms of gap as for me. Despite the fact that it's up 166%, probably goes higher for me. Looks like we're hitting the open here, and I'm looking for that weak open, blow through 4, and I'm hitting that long. It's a great long opportunity. Crazy volume with fucking not even a minute in. And we're like 30 seconds in, we've got 2 million already in the opening minute. So I'm looking for that push through 4 to go long. We get the weak open. You see, I just go long at 4 there. I'm thinking I'll risk like, 385%. Very quickly. Stop out. Perfect. Like I took the trade. 5% risk. Didn't work. But then when it comes through again, I'm thinking, all right, maybe 4 million in the first minute. All signs are go. I give it one more shot. There's a second green candle. I'm in long again from 4. And this time the trade works. I take a little bit off straight away just because I'm down from the last entry. But ultimately I'm always selling too soon. So let's see how high this goes. So I take 10% from 4 to 438, like 9%, 6% on the first, 9% on the second. And am I selling early again? As it happens, I'm not. I just take the last third piece off at 422 because I'm like, all right, this isn't working. And the mistake I make here is I go bearish. I should never, ever be going bearish. Like I'm going bearish thinking this is going to slam. Big wick rejection on high volume. Shouldn't really happen. I go bearish on it, but really with this volume, I should just be patient. So I've got a 398 short here. Of course, I'm cutting immediately. So like these are lower size feelers. I'm short 390 out like 4. Like these are very small feelers. Just can I get the direction of this thing? Hit it short again, small size. Stop out again, small size. We're talking about like 1% paper cuts here. But I should just be letting this work itself out. It's up 170%. There's a bunch of downside. I don't like these paper cuts. And I mean, I'm short there. And I'm short like 407, out 411. And then saved myself 10% on the downside there. But this... No, I didn't. I fucking held. That's a 10%. That's a 10% loss there. It's fucking ridiculous. Again, probably not massive size. I think what I've done there is I've got a 4.8 short. Took half. Yeah, I remember this actually. Took half off 412, and then I got a bit stubborn and I let a good 8% ride there. Half the size. Stop out at the high of the day. bit stupid. I mean, if anything, I should have. If I'm gonna let it go up there, I may as well just stop out 450. Like, there's no point stopping out at resistance. That's pretty dumb. So far, not really great trade. And the long was solid. I should have just left it alone after that. Chasing price action causes knee-jerk reactions and bad covers. So, should have really just let this one work itself out. Looks like it's going to go, by all intents and purposes it should, but I'd certainly not be chasing with a long up there. Hit it short one more time, thinking that could be the end. I don't mind that short. Don't mind that short at all in the 410s. Should take some off just in case, because again, if this does come back, I've got an average in the 412s risking 450. I don't want to be risking 50%, so... Sorry, I don't want to be risking 10%, so take half off, you've got half your profits, then risk 10% on a small half. But it's really like 5% because half of it's been profits. And at this moment in time, when that didn't break down and it tapped VWAP and it held the double bottom, I'm always waiting for one more squeeze with this much volume. So I'm definitely anticipating this. Take half off. And it's too good to be true to have a significant drop like that. It's too good to be true for a stock like IGC to die this early. So I'm willing to take the short, but I'm like getting out immediately, and I'm actually prepared for a long. So I'm watching this, thinking, yeah, it's slammed. It's most likely probably going to be over, but I would never discount one more squeeze potentially. So I'm watching for a squeeze here, expecting it to come through. When it doesn't, I'm also prepared for that lower high. I'm thinking, is this actually going to be a bit of a layup short? Should never expect that, because ultimately shorting here and covering here was stupid. I should have been a bit more patient and actually shorting the triple top and just holding for 450. That's a major error. When it slams, shorten kind of weakness, covering strength, when I should just be patient and shorten strength on the quadruple top. See, this is one thing I like, these very tight stops, so I'm sure out 1% later. Patient-ish. Thinking this is a nice lower high, it might be rolling over. Could also squeeze. Short, again, I should be quick to stop out if I'm wrong. You see how quick that stop is? Literally out 5 cents risk. Stop out the rest. Again, I just want to repeat. We had the nice long in the morning that I sold into, but by chasing this weakness, as it slammed and pulled, by chasing this, I've got a 4 average, which means I'm constantly in and out around this channel with a high chance of being squeezed, where if I just let it bounce and didn't chase the weakness with FOMO of missing the move, I would have had an average somewhere in the 420s, 430s, risking 450s, and I would not have put myself in this predicament where I'm like guessing the top of a lower high or guessing a squeeze. So these trades wouldn't have happened if I'd just been a little bit patient. 934. I'm putting myself in a precarious position here. Short once more time, thinking, all right, it might actually be done. And this is the wick. When it pulls up, triple bottom, pulls up off that wick, that's when I know I'm in trouble. Flip green, that's a big wick to flip green on. That's when I know my short's in trouble. This is when I know I need to get out and potentially go long for the squeeze. That is a cover at 405 and a long. Again, not good trading at all. I'm short 380. I'm covering 405. It's about a 7% loss. And then I'm going long at 410. Which is kind of chasing the move. I should be long more from the 390s, but I do read it well. I read the 410 long well, and we actually still get like 10%, 14% off the long. So very good read, little bit late. And I don't like any of these bounce shorts. But watch the price action here. Now, just as I sell the longs from the... Actually, this is a small ad because I think it's going to squeeze like hell. So I've just gone long from 410 to 460. Luckily sold everything at the top. But when we get a pull, and let's just show you this one more time. Look how fast this pulls. Now that is a sign that someone with massive sizes got out. It's the biggest stuff I've potentially ever seen. So when we get a stuff like this, either something terrible has happened, or a lot of people with big size have got out of the position for a reason, which for me, if it's 250% up, it's probably because the move's over. So I'm quite quick. You could call this chasing weakness in the 375s. I'm quite quick to flip short from long. But I'm actually short 375, risking 385. If this is the top, and if this has totally reversed, I'm confident that why would I not? I can short 375, risking 385, and hopefully it's not going to bounce because that's such a trappy move. And longs are just going to be selling. After that stuff, every long's getting out. Shorts are getting in on bounces. So I don't mind 385, risking 395. Why not? I mean, I'm going to lose 10 cents, but I could make $1. As it happens, it's just a case of adding into weakness as I've confirmed correct. Short in the 380s, added in the 370s. Yep, chasing weakness, but with a good risk. And the big picture now appears to be on my side. So covering some in the 350s. Covering some in the 330s. And then I get out the rest in the 1010s. I have a feeling we might... because it's coming back up and it's got too much volume, so I just bail on that. I have on this higher low, this key higher low, I have one last shot in the 350s just in case it squeezes one last time. But when it dumps, I'm very quick to flip short again, 340s, 350s, taking about 7% there from the 350s, and then covering as far down as the 290s. So taking another like 14% on that move, and taking about 14% on the initial drop. It's a case of really reading price action well. This was really, really tough. But ultimately, the only big... So the reactionary trades were solid. I got out of it by just being able to read price action over the years. I could see where it was going before it was going. But just to reiterate, the key error here, biggest error of this trade was IGC. This is the long. One more time. Perfect sells. That short. Chasing weakness. Off one reject. It's rejected once. I shouldn't be chasing weakness there. These shorts and the fours are causing us to stop out at key resistance. I'm losing 10% on them. And then I'm chasing the action both ways. It should be a case of you're long biased. You took the long, you sold the long. Now it should be a case of where can I find an entry around 420, 430, risking 450. And ultimately that risking that 450 doesn't break, you take half off. It does break here, you get straight back in. But the thing is though, if I'm risking 450 and I get stopped, I've shorted around 430, 440, took half off. If I get stopped at 450, I can promise you, say I wouldn't take these longs because I'm short. So if I take this short in the 430s, risk 450, if I get stopped here at 455, I can guarantee me hands on reshort to get back in. I'm shorting again here, thinking this might just be a fake out. And then I would have been sitting with a 460 average, covering in the 360s, that's 20%. But the thing is though, it's all shoulda, coulda, woulda, but it's literally these fucking ads. And look, hey, I won. I made $500 on this and $400 on this and 700 on Wiser. I won, but winning's not enough. I want to make every trade, winners or losers. I want to improve, and those ads are a big mistake.